Now, as I'm sitting here recovering from my broken rib, I'm going to be honest with you. I occasionally jump from YouTube channel to YouTube channel, listen to people, and the shit gets crazier and crazier. Not only with the YouTube channels, but the news channels. Y'all out there reporting so much bullshit. Like, I even heard, okay, y'all want me to talk about the drunk turkey chick? Y'all want me to talk about Kim, the mom? You want me to talk about her? I'll talk about her today. But there's so many frauds, so many leaks, so much shit that you just can't trust, like People Magazine lying. Let's just be real. And then there's a lot of you people in the audience that criticize me because I said the case isn't strong. And it's really strange because you act like I'm saying Brian Kohlberger's not guilty. You act like I'm saying that I like Brian Kohlberger, that I think the man is not guilty at all. No, I said your case is weak. And you're firing back saying, how do you know the case is weak? I know what evidence has been presented. And I know that when you're talking about whether it be discovery, whether it be the affidavit, 80% of the evidence they got is going to be in that, no matter what your little minds believe. You've never been through these criminal cases. You don't understand shit. You just sit on your ass, watch court TV and YouTubers, and all of a sudden you think you're a legal guru. But I'll let that go. Today we're going to talk about some of these leaks. We're going to be talking about the gag order, which I think is unconstitutional anyway, but we'll leave that, let that be. And we'll talk about Kim, the mom, all of a sudden saying the murders are racist. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm thejbgunner. This is Crime Time. Let's do it. Let's go.
Bring it back.
Well, what's going on, everybody? As you guys know, I'm thejbgunner, and this is Crime Time with thejbgunner. First and foremost, before we get started, I want to say thank you to everybody that supports the channel. All of my channels, whether it's this, the political one, the gaming one, whatever the fuck it may be. Truth is, guys, I couldn't do this each and every day as often as I do without you, the Gun Squad. Now, we've been injured a little bit, and so a lot less content. I will start to pick it up. It is Monday. You're going to get content every day this week. If you too find value in my content, feel free to hit the links down below. Support the channel, join the Gun Squad today. Thank you to Amy, by the way. You know who you are. Thank you to Amy. Appreciate you. I did see that yesterday. Thank you very much. All right. With all this being said, we're going to jump right into this. By the way, if you're not a snowflake, feel free to check out my other channels, my political channel, all that good shit. And by the way, if you are one of these snowflakes that keep telling, why do the snowflakes keep telling me, JP, your channel would be so much bigger if you didn't cuss? Bitch, I've got 5,000 subs in 2 months. This channel's brand new. Just letting you know, I got 3 silver play buttons, 100,000 subs each. Trust me, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm not gonna stop cussing because your Karen ass wants me to stop cussing. Suck my dick. Now let's go ahead and move on to what we're talking about. The murders. Here we go. We're going to take it. Idaho murders amended gag order now silences attorneys for victims and witnesses. Judge Megan Marshall, overseeing the case against Brian Kohlberger, issued the amended order on Wednesday. Look, I'm just going to give you my quick opinion on gag orders. I think they're unconstitutional. It is what it is. Because here's what I hear. When I see gag orders, basically what I see is they're going to allow all the misinformation and shit that you guys put out there that demonizes Brian Kohlberger. Your little fake audios, your little fake news articles. And we're going to talk about one here today because People Magazine, they put their foot in their mouth. And so basically, we're going to allow the court of public opinion to go so slighted against Brian Kohlberger, by the time he goes to trial, he'll never get a fair trial. So if the defense actually gets some evidence that they need to put out there to kind of calm public opinion, you're not going to let it happen. To me, it's unconstitutional for you to say people can't talk about some shit. Because here's the truth. All the leaks that are going to come out and all the leaks that are coming out, A, they're fraudulent, but B, notice how every piece of information is anti-Brian Kohlberger. How come we're not getting even any positive leaks? I'm just curious. How come we're not getting any positive leaks? Well, because that would be, that's when the gag order would be enforced, guarantee you. Because what they're trying to do, and it's already happened, the well is poisoned, This man will not get a fair trial, and every single person watching this video should hate that this man will not get a fair trial. If he is guilty, put him to death. But if he's not, we need to let him go. We need to get him a free trial so we can decide whether he's guilty or not guilty. It's that simple. Let's go ahead and get back to this because this kind of bothers me a little bit, and it kind of, well, we'll just start here. An Idaho judge has amended the gag order in the Moscow student murders case, which now restricts the remarks of attorneys for the victims, their families, and witnesses, in addition to investigators, the prosecution, and defense. I don't personally understand how you could put a gag order on the families. Maybe on state employees. Maybe you could do it to attorneys. Maybe, well, I don't believe you can lawyers either. They don't work for you. To me, this is just people. This is, in a situation like this, if there's any good news about Bryan Kohberger or good evidence that it benefits him, it should be able to be told if the attorney on their end wants that. I don't agree with gag orders whatsoever. I think gag orders hurt the defense. I think they unfairly hurt the defense. Because here's the truth. The leakers are still going to leak. And the liars are still going to lie. And we'll take a look here, and I'll show you that here in a minute. The case against Kohberger, 28-year-old PhD student at Washington State, has drawn national attention for more than 2 months. Exactly. He allegedly entered a home just steps off the University of Idaho campus and attacked 4 undergrads with a knife around 4 a.m. on November 13th. For almost 7 weeks, police did not publicly name a suspect. With help from the FBI, they arrested him in Pennsylvania on December 30th. He's charged with the murders. We know what we're talking about. We know. So 4 murders, felony burglary. Bill Thompson, the Latah County prosecuting attorney, told reports at a news briefing on the day of the arrest to expect most information to come out in court. Latah County Magistrate Judge Megan Marshall doubled down on that with the new order this week, expanding the scope of the order. The attorneys for any interested party in this case, including the prosecuting attorney, defense attorney, and any attorney representing a witness, victim, or victim's family, as well as the parties to the above entitled action, including but not limited to investigators, law enforcement personnel, and agents for the prosecuting attorney or defense attorney, are prohibited from making extrajudicial statements, written or oral, concerning this case, except without additional comment, a quotation from or reference to the official public record of that case. Here's the problem. Here's the problem I have with this. What if, currently, like I said, we're on the public opinion, the court of public opinion is against Bryan Kohberger. What if the defense has something that sheds a better light on Kohberger? I don't agree with them not being able to present that to the public. Because remember, the jury pool is going to be picked out of the public. And right now, everything we hear publicly is anti-Bryan Kohberger. The defense has the right to defend their client. And that's just the way this shit works. And unfortunately, there's a gag order that now prevents that. So whatever jury gets picked is people that know what we know about the case right now. And everything has been anti-Kohberger. Everything on the internet. There's not a single positive thing about Bryan Kohberger that you hear anyway. Anywhere. At all. Other than the fact he was a PhD student. And I think that's, when it comes to the defense, is highly unfair. At least one victim's family has hired a lawyer. The new order appears to bar Shannon Gray, who is representing Kaylee Gonsalves' parents, from publicly discussing the case. It comes shortly after reports citing an unnamed law enforcement source alleged that Kohberger had sent numerous messages to at least one of the victims over Instagram prior to the attacks. So that's what this is all about, basically. That's what this is an entire thing about. They believe that these leaks are real, which that kind of does confirm it. But I got something I'm going to show you here because I'm not 100% sure that it's real. People magazine has come out and made some claims. And the Mad Greek denies their claims. And we'll get to that here in just a second. But so we're just starting off with the entire gag order on this case. Let's go ahead and listen to News Nation and see what they got to say.
Judge in the Idaho college student murders case is getting stricter on who can and cannot speak with the media. The expanded gag order now includes the victims' families and their attorneys. Suspect Brian Koberger has not yet entered a plea. He has been charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder, burglary, and is due back in court in June. Senior national correspondent Brian Enton has been on this case since the very beginning. So, Brian, this new gag order applies to just about everyone involved, it seems.
Yeah, it does, Kelly. You know, this caught a lot of us by surprise who have been covering this case very, very closely, because there was already a strict gag order in place for the last several weeks or so that pretty much prevented both sides, the prosecution, the defense attorneys, and any law enforcement involved in the case from talking at all about the case. So we weren't getting very much information officially. Well, now the judge has signed off on a new gag order that takes that even farther, now including pretty much everyone involved, including attorneys representing the victims' families in the case. And you'll remember many times in the past that it has been those attorneys who have been the ones speaking out, speaking for the victims, giving us some information about what's going on behind the scenes. It appears that is all now going to stop. There have been some leaks over the last week or so, Kelly, and it seems the judge not happy about that.
I'm not sure if that's the case or not.
Very, very strict gag order.
Really interesting, Brian. So what have you learned? You've been doing excellent reporting about this, reporting that Koberger interacted with some of the victims on Instagram.
Yeah, so this was actually People magazine that broke the story this week. They're the only ones who had it, that Koberger sent an Instagram message to one of the victims before the murders, and that it may have been in the unread folder. It's sort of an interesting gray area, at least for me, because when we first got the name Brian Koberger as the person who was going to be arrested, we got the name a little bit before it was made public. And the first thing I did was went on social media and tried to find any accounts that he may have had before the name went out to the world. I couldn't find anything. And then within an hour of the name going out, Kelly, there were all sorts of accounts that had been created.
Exactly, Brian. That's the point. Ain't it odd how all of the, and listen, we've been talking about this shit for a month. How many times have we seen the fake social media accounts? Hell, the fake OnlyFans for Maddie. The fake Instagram accounts for Koberger. And now, and once again, just like I said the other day, these motherfuckers come in here reporting late. They're like, hey, did you know that Brian had an Instagram? Let me guess. It's one of the fake ones. Let's just call it what it is. Because now we're going to go off what People magazine said, and I'm going to show you in just a second how People magazine's a goddamn liar. It's that simple. Come on,
people making up fake accounts. So it's a tricky area to try to look back into social media, because you don't know what's real from what's fake.
Right.
All right. And we know you're just reporting.
No, you don't know what's real from what's fake. Now let's take a look at People magazine. Idaho suspect Brian Koberger visited a restaurant where 2 victims worked at least twice before killings. Remember, People magazine is the people that released this information on the Instagram thing, also this restaurant thing. Now, here's the thing. Everybody already has, like I said, went through the whole social media thing. Brian Enton just nailed it. He's like, bro, when I got his name, I looked and there was no social media for him. Let me also say this. Remember how we were able to find his Tappa Talk information? That typically is done through a background check. You can find their websites, you can find their social media with basically, because when you do a background check on somebody, it shows you their email addresses. And so at this point, we would have already known his social media addresses, his social media. Think about it. Think about what we already know. We already know his Tappa Talk, which that's a crazy thing to even fucking find, right? We know his SoundCloud. We know his rapper information. We know all of this. But for some reason, Instagram, things like this, nobody was able to find. There was all of these fake accounts, and those accounts have been debunked. The OnlyFans account has been debunked. And now all of a sudden, People Magazine is like, did you know that he followed 3 of the girls and none of them followed him back, and he sent them messages slid into their DMs? First of all, I don't trust anybody that uses that kind of terminology, slid into the DMs. You're a fucking professional organization. I'm not going to sit here and take this shit seriously. But I want you to understand, right here, it says, according to a former employee at the Mad Greek restaurant in Moscow, Brian Koberger came in at least twice to grab vegan pizza. Now, I laughed at this the other day. I did laugh at this the other day when it comes to the vegan pizza. And from this People Magazine report, we get all of these other stories. Idaho murder suspect Brian Koberger followed 3 female victims on Instagram, but none of them followed him back. Koberger followed the 3 female murder victims, a new report claims. A suspect's now deleted Instagram account is said to be crim.koberger. Authors have been seeking links between Koberger and the 4 victims. So this Instagram account is deleted now. And so they're saying, well, no, this was his Instagram account. How the fuck do we know? How do we know? Unless it's really a leak from somebody involved in the investigation that's confiscated his computer tower. Idaho murder suspect Brian Koberger twice ate vegan pizza at a restaurant where 2 victims work. Cops have quizzed staff and collected surveillance footage. Now, why am I showing you this? Because we did talk about this previously. You may be saying, why are you showing us this, JB? Why are we talking about this situation again? Well, it's because it's a lie. Here's the statement from the Mad Greek, the owner of the restaurant. Let me see if it's easier if I just do it this way. The owners of the Mad Greek posted a comment on Facebook. Here's what they said. The news and media should really do their due diligence before running a story with completely fabricated information. This will be my only response to the story from People. It is not true. This person who wants their 5 minutes of fame has now caused a whole bunch of extra work for myself and investigators. I also have not forbidden employees from speaking to reporters. We all decided collectively to support the families and not share anything that could potentially harm the investigation or cause the families more stress. To all media reporters, internet sleuths, etc., please allow us to grieve the loss of our friends and co-workers. This has been incredibly hard on us. With our phones ringing off the hook, reporters banging on our door at private residence and hunting down all employees, as well as showing up constantly at the restaurant. We have not been afforded the time to grieve. Please stop calling, messaging, knocking, and showing up. I personally will not be doing any interviews or entertaining wild accusations at this time. My employees also feel the same. To all others, please don't believe anything you read. It's not coming from the courts or the police. Wait until it does or doesn't before judging. To everyone who has supported myself, my family, and my employees, thank you. Your kind words and support help us get through each day while we navigate these unknown times. That is from the owner of the Mad Greek. Clearly, in my opinion, rejecting the notion and basically calling this People Magazine article for what it is. And I've been saying this over and over, whether it's the fat girl off of Tinder who wanted her 15 minutes of fame because she wanted everybody to know she sucked the dick of Brian Koberger. I know you're going to say she didn't suck his dick. Come on, she's fat. She swiped right. They watched 2 movies together. I assure you, she sucked his dick. I assure you, she fucked him. If she was with him 7 years ago, she just doesn't want her current husband, to know, hey, I used to suck Brian Koberger's dick. That's all it is. It's 100% the truth. So she waddles her fat ass out here in front of the cameras so she gets her 15 minutes. Then you got the former the friend who came out here and said, yeah, we used to do heroin together all the time. These people are fucking nut jobs. And you people keep falling for the shit. You people keep falling for these people and their claims. And just like you did on this one. Same thing here. But the restaurant said they're full of shit. And I tend to believe the restaurant in this situation. But this ain't even it. There's so much other shit that's going on. You guys have asked me, are you going to do the drunk turkey, or whatever the fuck the channel is? What do you think about that? This is just more bullshit. That's all this shit is. They stopped having information, and we knew this day was coming where everything was going to leak out. Now, I ain't got no problem with Daniel J and Big Boobs. Or does it say Big Boobs? No, Big Blue. I ain't got no problem with Big Blue Boobs right here. I have no problem with them at all. However, let's just call it what it is. Just some chick calling up being like, hi, I had kids that went to the school and knew the Colbert and knew all these people. Come on, man. I'm going to just let you hear just this piece right here. Because anyone that heard this thing, and you guys have asked me, tell us about the drunk turkey. Tell us about the drunk turkey. First of all, I don't know any drunk turkeys. I like turkey and I like drinking, so I wish I did know some drunk turkeys. But second of all, I don't believe this bitch at all. This bitch is no different than the fat Tinder broad. This bitch is no different than the heroin dude. These people are just coming out wanting their clout. Well, I don't even know how you can get clout from some of this shit. But that's all this shit is. So they have fooled, not just these two, which I respect them. I get it. It brought a lot of attention to their channel. But they not just these, but also Truth and Transparency. Love her to death. She does great work. But listen, man, fooled them all. I'm going to show you. This is a wine-drinking soccer mom who I'm not sure if she's on drugs herself. I'm not sure if she's drunk herself. But none of the shit she says makes sense. I'm just going to start off with this right here.
Right. And I have been told that I'm not to speak, but you know what?
Hold on.
Come on, put me in jail, whatever. I'm not.
I've been told not to speak, but I'm a mom, and go fuck it, put me in jail. First of all, I don't know any moms that would say that. And number two, who told you not to speak? Why is it that your name only exists on the drunk turkey? Why is it that no one knows who you are? So who exactly is it that told you not to speak? That's all I'm asking. So when she comes out, she's like, hey, you ever meet some of these people? Like, you ever met someone that thinks the feds are like, what? I always feel like somebody's watching me. You one of them real paranoid motherfuckers? I know, I get it. That's why I don't smoke weed, because I'd be paranoid like that too. You ever seen one of those people that think, hey, and by the way, I believe in 1984's like surveillance. I believe we're being watched. I believe all that. Most of the time, we're signing up and letting these motherfuckers watch us. We're the ones that did the shit, right? However, this woman comes out here who's not involved in the case at all, who has nothing to, she has no real relation to the case. And she's like, Dave, they're trying to silence me. No, nobody knows you, except for the turkey, the drunk turkey. Nobody knows this lady. So when people come out here and they're like, no, they're trying to silence me. I want to know who's trying to silence you. Because right off the jump, the beginning, 3 minutes into this motherfucker, she has already destroyed her credibility. Because no one knows who she is, but she's claiming that people have told her to shut the fuck up. I assume she means the feds. I assume she means the Moscow Police Department. I assume she means some sort of authoritative voice. Because why else would you say that if that's not the case? But I understand what this is. This is her way of being a martyr. They told me to shut the fuck up. Fuck it, I'm willing to go to jail to give you drunk turkeys this scoop, this beat. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? That's all this is.
I'm not going to stop speaking if I don't think my kids are safe.
Oh.
And I honestly do not believe they're safe.
Oh.
And this guy, he's a monster, no doubt. I have no doubt. But there's so many other areas in this case that are just not being told, nor should they have to be. But you have to guarantee, if I call a police officer and ask if my kid is safe and they can't guarantee me that, that's a problem.
Oh.
And that's what's happening.
Right.
And they're over their heads.
Yeah.
100% Moscow is over their heads. And I'll say that to them. But this guy could get off. This attorney is better than good. If you want an attorney to get you out, she will. And so will their forensic investigator. You know? And I'm not saying he's brilliant. I don't think he is. I think he's a monster. He's an animal. But, and he did know those girls. And we have a substantial and significant, and I say this on the record, and I'm not alleging it, I'm a parent, and I've been dealing with it now for 2 years. I pay $50,000 a year for this stuff. And I'll tell you what, there is a drug problem, a significant drug problem. There's a Greek Road problem. And I've got kids on Greek Road, right? So I'm coming from a place of knowing, and I just want people to just have a conversation with the kids. You are not.
Right. And then in the second interview she does with Lana and them, she comes out and says, my goal here is to get Greek Road shut down. She's an activist. She's one of them, leftist soccer moms that always wants to protest some shit. I'm going to tell you, I want your assault rifles taken. I want Greek Road shut down. I want JB Gunner TV shut down. Shut up, bitch. Why do you think anybody gives a fuck what you want? It's so weird. These goddamn middle-aged, fat-ass soccer moms always think somebody gives a fuck what they got to say. I'm gonna get you shut down. You ain't gonna do shit, fat bitch. These people trip me the fuck out.
Safe. Just because the guy's behind bars does not make you safe.
Oh.
Right?
Here's the thing. It don't matter where you
That's fine. I mean, I sent my kids to school tasered. That's weird.
Yeah, quick she talks.
Yeah, no, I noticed your what state you were calling from. And I know that it was. It looks like it was fairly close to where this could have taken place. You having kids that are currently, going, near there, that would be scary. I would be scared, and I understand where your fear comes from, and this probable cause. And I've heard this as well about the lawyer that is defending Brian, and her team that has come in already, and I'm assuming based on the fact that, because of the nature of the crime, the degree and the penalty that is involved, that the courts only had a few options as far as who can defend him. And that she was well aware of that early on, and that's why she got to work right away. I mean, she stopped the cleaning, she stopped a lot of things. And
she stopped quite a few things. She's already asked for all of their evidence. She wants that. She asked for that today.
Yeah, that's in any case that you request discovery immediately. It's not that hard. But this is the same woman. I want you to peep this shit out. Same woman.
The other athlete. That's how
and the athlete between they're not even.
We went on the court. We lose on the court. We don't go and fight people. Like that's.
They don't even meet on the court. UI.
Listen.
I think.
Just hear me. Here we go. Listen.
I think Wazoo was. I don't know. Is bigger. Big what? I don't know. But they're different leagues where they never meet ever. But they wanted to blame the team. Now I do need to say this because I.
Yeah, what she's gonna do is she's gonna talk about how racist the fraternities in Idaho are, that they all of a sudden started pointing at Black Lives Matter as the people that did the shit. I'm not bullshitting you at all. I'm sitting here listening to this last night and my jaw dropped. I was floored. I said, this can't be real, man. This is the same woman, right? This is the same exact woman. This is the soccer mom. And now she's back to give this theory.
I feel like it's absolutely so. I'm Sigma Chi, and if you are a Sigma Chi and you're listening, you know that you tweeted out that your theory is, as a house and as a national fraternity, you said that you believe it was the Black Lives Matter house.
Now remember, I said she's just some soccer mom activist. That's all she is. It's some soccer mom activist. Fucking libtard sitting here and just blaming whatever. Everything's racist, everything. I swear to God to you. We got her entire premise is that we have to shut down Greek Road. We have to stop the racism, stop the heroin, therefore stopping the brutal murders. You gotta add 1 + 1 +. You gotta connect all the dots. This is just some activist bitch enjoying her 15 minutes that y'all are giving her. Her story's credible, JB, according to who? According to who?
Black Lives Matter flag out in front of it, or Davies, the football team you played that weekend, because they were primarily Black Hawk known as a black college, as retaliation. They killed these kids as retaliation for one of a Sigma Chi who was a black man, a young black man with a brilliant future, was found hanging in his fraternity house, and I don't know what state it is, but he was not just found hanging; he was found beaten.
Y'all keep telling me in the comment section, Jimmy, you gotta watch the drunk turkey. You gotta listen to this Kim woman. She knows what she's talking about. Bitch, have y'all lost y'all's mind? She's telling us that these kids were murdered. Just let's go.
Then the Sigma Chi guys from Moscow said, or from U of I said, we know that you all think Moscow is racist, and it probably is, but we're not. I said, and my reply to them was, congratulations, dads. You have done a remarkable job in getting your children to make a statement out there, to cover their asses for bad behavior or poor behavior, and make it a race issue. What is, like, I don't even really have the words to articulate exactly what I'm trying to say.
I think you're just disappointed in the philosophy of what Greek life has come. That's what I'm
really
kind of gathering.
I have 7 children, and I'll tell you, they've all gone to college. They all are successful in any way, I think, in any way you look at it. And I have to tell you, Greek life is disappointing. Like, it needs to go away.
Kim, I got a few questions.
You got to understand what you're hearing. And if you've listened to both interviews, then you know the premise of everything she's saying. There's more to this, according to her. Because she has kids that goes there, and you need to understand that she has concocted this story that all of you guys believe. All of you guys believe this shit. And then, but you overlook the shit, the crazy shit, like what she just said. That she brought up the black man hanging from the tree. And the racist Idaho Greek life campus. You understand, if you connect the dots, you see what she's saying. It's no different than in any other aspect of life where they claim everything is racist. It's no fucking different. And people like that, you cannot count as credible. I'm sorry. But if you're one of those people up in like Seattle that think that peanut butter and jelly or brown paper bags are racist, then you don't deserve any credibility. If you're one of those people that believe Aunt Jemima syrup is racist or Uncle Ben's is racist, you get no credibility. And listen, I'm not taking this political, I'm just calling this like it is. There is no reason to insert your Black Lives Matter bullshit into fucking everything. But they did. Somehow these murders took place because of Black Lives Matter and black people hanging from trees with big futures in their life. Let that sink in. But see, you guys ain't hearing all of that. What you're hearing is this story that she concocted. But if you listen to everything else, you will see that she has an agenda. She has a mission that she wants to talk about more even than the murders.
You said when we spoke that that Brian was on a PhD, whatever, like internship or whatnot, and that based on his level of education, already having the degrees, that he would have privilege or access to some of the Washington WSU police departments. I guess maybe their department or an office or something.
And by the way, for you guys, and listen, I got all the respect in the world for truth and transparency. For you guys that don't see what's actually going on here, for the story that's being concocted, I take you to Truth and Transparency's community tab. If you take a look at Truth and Transparency's community tab, hold on, let me make sure this thing is still working. If you look at Truth and Transparency's, now it's gonna fucking freeze up on me. Hold on. All right, I'm back. If you look at Truth and Transparency's community tab, and like I said, she does good work. She gets a little conspiratorial in her shit, but I think she does good work. If you take a look right here, this is the thing that she's going on now. Developing story. Is this document real thoughts? Was Brian Koberger involved with the police as an intern? And look, you can look up here and see that she's doing videos on it because, listen, we've ran out of information. We've ran out of information. And so what a lot of these people are doing are theorizing and speculating, and I'm okay with that. But understand, if you look at what her punchline is right now, and you listen to what that Kim lady said, it's essentially the same thing. She shows this letter, this email from Brian Koberger to Jenkins. Says, Chief Jenkins, it was a great pleasure to meet with you today and share my thoughts and excitement regarding the research assistantship for public safety. I look forward to hearing from you. Best regards, Brian. Now, if you watch her video, which I would suggest you guys do, I would suggest you guys go watch her intern email video. You will see that she talks a lot about how they're on first name basis. Brian and the chief. Do you see what I'm saying? And even if you look back at that supposed email, which none of us know if that's legit or not, if you look at that email that none of us know is legit, you'll see, best regards, Brian. Why wouldn't he say Brian Koberger? So I'm not 100% sure if this email is legit. It is possible it's legit. But the question is, what's the agenda? And the agenda and the story from both Kim and essentially other YouTubers is that Brian was working with the police, and Brian and the police went and did this shit, and then you sprinkle in the Black Lives Matter. Are you getting it yet? Those police had something to do with the killing of unarmed Kaylee Gonsalves. You get it yet? You get it yet? You should. Because that's where we're going with this. If you pay attention, all of these leaks, all of this shit, it's being pretty much rejected as fraud. People magazine completely made up a story. Several of them, actually. And now the judge is putting down tighter restrictions because the shit is getting out of hand. Now, there's nothing wrong with giving commentary, and there's nothing wrong with speculating. That's why I'm not saying anything negative about Truth and Transparency. But clearly the Kim bitch is out here lying for her 15 minutes. That's clear to me. And she has an agenda, an anti-police, a woke anti-racism agenda. She wants to shut down. She wants to protest. She wants Greek Road shut down. She wants us to believe, she wants you to believe, that those dirty, racist Idaho cops, and along with the racist fraternities in Idaho, they're out here selling heroin and killing people and shit because everybody's gone off heroin. If you essentially listen, and that would include the people that didn't call 911, and listen, I got my own theories about that. The rumor is that Dylan and Bethany was telling other people about the murders at 10 a.m. Maybe. But don't you think that if that was the case, to be perfectly honest, we would know about that? Don't you think that if that was the case, it would be in the affidavit? Don't you think, I want you to really think about this. You don't think that the police would know through phone records and everything if Dylan and Bethany were making phone calls at 10 a.m. and told people? You don't think at least one person that they told would have came to the police and said, yeah, they called me at 10 a.m. and said these murders existed? Come on, bro. I'm not saying it's not possible, but what I am saying is we got to use some logic here. And this weird thing where we're like, yeah, man, the police are in them with them, and there's heroin. Everybody's dealing heroin. They knew at 10 a.m. Brian drove by at 9 a.m. The motherfuckers think Brian drove by at 9 a.m., went inside the house, fucked Bethany a couple times. Not Bethany, but Dylan a couple times. Still left the knife sheath, got the fuck out of Dodge, went to have a bagel. Like, come on, man. Like, some of the theories that's out here, I get it, man. Speculate. Do what you do. But there's people that's just flat out lying. All of these people wanting their 15 minutes saying they fucked Brian. They knew, they tendered Brian. Then people talking about this bullshit. Do I think drugs were involved? Yes. I think that's exactly why Dylan and Bethany did not call 911. I think they were getting rid of drugs in the house. But this weird thing where he was riding around with cops, and maybe it was really a cop that did it, and Brian was he was riding around with him. That's weird shit. And what that is some anti-police, Black Lives Matter type of bullshit. A bunch of little Antifa faggots running around on YouTube trying to insert their own agenda into some shit like this. Chances are it was Brian Kohlberger. And I'm not even saying he acted alone. But this weird thing that you're doing, where I've seen some of you guys say it's the cartels and the police, they're all working together pushing heroin. And they had to get rid of these four college kids. You know how ridiculous that sounds? And I don't mean any disrespect to the victims, but who the fuck are they? Like, they were so goddamn important, the cartels and the police, and there's this big conspiracy to get rid of these four fucking nobodies. That's weird. And when I say nobodies, I don't mean that disrespectfully, but they're just regular people. Why would there be a big-time conspiracy about these four regular people? I love y'all. Let me know in the comment section what you think. There's so many fraudulent leaks. There's so much bullshit. I still got people sending me audios and shit. There's a damn doctor on Twitter. And I ain't bullshitting you. I can show you right now. There's a fucking doctor on Twitter and somebody very close to me. Meow. You know you are, meow. Sent me audio to this motherfucker. And I kept telling her, I don't know what you're hearing. Apparently, this is audio from the murders where Brian Kohlberger's chasing someone outside the house. And that's why the blood's outside the house. He killed her right there outside the house where all that blood was leaked. And the audio is supposed to somehow tell me that. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. I understand we're playing Clue. I understand we're enjoying the ride. I understand we're enjoying this shit. But can we keep a sane fucking head here? Can we just be sane for a while? And trust me when I tell you, this Kim bitch, this lady, this isn't real.
I don't know. I kind of do know what is. So this is over a state line. So there's no reason the feds can't get involved now.
Right.
Because it's cross state lines. And right, and I don't think, and I'll honestly be honest, because it wasn't.
You can tell she's lying.
I think it was the guy who SWAT killed December 15th night.
Oh,
right. There was a incident at WSU.
So it's the guy that SWAT killed that did it. So we're going back to that. That was a Facebook post that someone posted that the SWAT guy that was killed, and we've talked about it. Brian was riding around with him, and Brian was framed by the SWAT man and blah, blah, and racist because Black Lives Matter. y'all need to go see the doctor. A lot of you do. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this. Are you falling for any of this bullshit? Y'all subscribe to Joseph Morris, ain't you? Or what's his name? With the media shirt and the media hat. Remember, they're reporting that the dog hair found in Kohlberger's house is Kaylee's dog's. I've seen it in my comments. Now you know that hair that they found at Brian Kohlberger's, that's the victims and the dog. A month later? That seems kind of dumb, doesn't it? If you guys like what I do here and you want to support the channel, by all means hit the links down below. Support the channel. Feel free. And to you dummies that keep saying, like, I get a few haters in here. Like, this is a pre-recorded video, right? They'll be like, I fast forwarded to the end of your video and your tip jar was still at 0. I'm not live, dickhead. I'm recording this by myself. I'm not live. So there is no tips coming in right now. This isn't live. Nobody even knows this video is being made right now. I'm just sitting here in my damn underwear making a video. Some of you motherfuckers are just flat out dumb as shit. Love y'all. I love y'all smart ones and beautiful ones. Y'all know y'all. Anyway, I'm going to get the fuck up out of here. Support the channel if you want. Let me know in the comment section what you think. I'll be back in a little bit with another video. I'm not going to be doing a live today. I'm going to do a political live on my political channel tonight. I'm going to go back to doing just one live a day as my ribs are healing. So I'm going to switch out. One day it'll be true crime. The next day it'll be on my political channel. I do my gaming videos too, so I'm just going to do one a day. Well, today it'll probably be the politics channel. I may do a live on here, but that's if something like breaking happens, right? But this video is long enough. It's like a live. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do support the channel, I'll give you a shout out in my next video. Love you guys. Peace out.